Hey friend, Graham here from recordingrevolution.com, and let's talk today about your musical dream, specifically your dream of making a career in music, whether as an artist or an engineer or a songwriter or whatever specifically your dream is. Let's talk about the big question, the question that we don't really tend to want to ask, which is, when do I give up? Or should I give up on my musical dream? I don't know if you've asked yourself this question. I don't know if you're just thinking about it from time to time. I don't know how many years you've been pursuing this thing, but I know what it feels like to want to make a career in music and feel like the deck is stacked against you and you've put in year after year after year. Maybe it's been 5 years of pursuing this thing and you're like, do I just give up? It's not working. So today I want to give you a couple of thoughts, two specific thoughts that might help you and encourage you if you're wrestling with this question. First off, major preface here. Yes, the music industry is changing. Yes, there are new rules in the music industry and new jobs and new things. It's not over. The music industry is not going anywhere. It's just evolving. So we are going to have to evolve. So please keep that in mind. And keep in mind also that there are a lot of crappy people in the music industry, but there are also a lot of great people in the music industry. And we in the music industry want more people like you, good people who want to bring amazing innovation and creativity and generosity and kindness and patience and selflessness and a heart of service into the music industry. It'll only make this industry better. Also, if you're an artist or a songwriter, there are a lot of crappy songs in the music industry right now. We need your good songs. We need your good music. We need your talent. So the music industry needs you now more than ever. I'm not the spokesperson for the music industry, but as someone who's in it, I'll speak for everybody. Sure, why not? We need you. We want you. You can make this space better. Now, let's talk about, when should I give up? Should I give up? Why do we come to that conclusion? And what are two ways to maybe move past that question? Well, first of all, I think we have a skewed version of what making a career in music can look like. Maybe a better word than skewed is narrow. A narrow view, a narrow version of what a music career looks like. Here's an analogy, okay? Let's say I'm interested in getting to running. I want to get in shape. I want to get fit. And I think, you know what? I could get into running. And so I buy some nice running shoes. And my goal is to be running 5 days a week. Maybe I won't run on the weekends, spend time with my family, but at least 5 days a week, I want to be going for a run. I know I won't be fast right away. I know I won't be able to run long distances, but I want to be in the habit of running 5 days a week. Seems like a reasonable desire, a reasonable dream, right? And then let's say life is happening and gets in the way and I'm not able to run 5 days a week. In fact, I'm not running any days a week, and I sit down with you and I'm asking you your advice. What do you think? Should I just give up on this whole running thing because I'm not able to run 5 days a week? And it would be like you saying, well, Graham, why don't you try to run 1 day a week? Start with that. Just try to run 1 day a week. And it would be like me telling you, well, that's an awful idea. I don't want to run 1 day a week. I want to run 5 days a week. Why would I want to run 1 day a week? I think you'd probably be a little confused by my response, because here I am saying I want to run 5 days a week, not running any days a week. So I got a big old goose egg. I'm running 0 right now. And I don't want to run 1 day a week because I want to be running 5 days a week. I mean, the psychology of that is so hilarious, but this is actually how we operate. We have this all or nothing mentality. Not all of us, but many of us do, especially when it comes to our dreams and our goals. We have a view of what we want it to look like, make a full-time living as an artist or an engineer or a songwriter or whatever, and it's that or nothing. If we're not able to do that, if we pursue that for 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, and we're not able to make a full-time living doing that thing in music that we want to do over here, we say, oh, must not be for me. And we go over here and we work a complete day job. We get out of music. We lament the days that we dreamed about making music, and we give up. When we could be doing the running 1 day a week thing, when we could be doing music part-time. And part-time could look like a lot of different things. It could look like it was for me for years, nights and weekends, Thursday nights, Friday nights, and Saturdays. I recorded and mixed bands for years while I had a day job. The Recording Revolution was part-time. I would create content during the day in between gigs when I wasn't mixing. I would shoot videos, I would make courses, I would get on Twitter, I would get on Facebook, I would share stuff here on YouTube, but it wasn't full time. It was kind of zero time because I did it part time, but it made $0 from it. So it was, I don't know what you call that. I have never not done music. It's only been in the last 7, 8 years that I've been able to do music full time without needing a secondary source of income. But it's been worth it because I've had time to evolve into full time. But even then, you don't have to do music full time like me at all for it to be a successful career. A career can be a part time career. A career can be multi gigs that create your full time income. There is so much opportunity these days to do music on the side and it stay on the side if you want to, or start it on the side and give it the 5 to 10 years it needs to evolve into your full time income. All of those shades of doing music for a living are valuable, are valid, and are successful. They're all running. Whether you run 1 day a week or 5 days a week, it's better than running 0 days a week and saying you're not a runner. You're a runner no matter how many days a week you run. Your life is unique. Your circumstances are unique. And so I would give you a broader view of what it means to have a career in music and encourage you to let it be part-time and not let that be a fail or a, well, I wish it were full-time. No, that could be your goal. I've got a day job and a part-time music thing, or I shift my hours of my day job down to 30 hours a week or 20 hours a week, and then I do music the other 20 or whatever. That is such a win. If you're able to continue to create and to make music and to connect in the music space and to make the music industry better, that is a win. So don't give up if it's not full-time. It's not full-time or nothing. It's, are you doing music? And that can look like a lot of different things. Now, the second element to this is you've got the full-time or nothing dichotomy. That's false. The second element is maybe broaden your view of what it looks like to be in the music industry. I alluded to this at the very beginning, that this industry is evolving and changing. What you may have wanted to do for your music career may not be an option anymore, partly because it may not be an option for you. It may have just been a dream, or partly because it may not be an option for anyone because that element of the industry is dissolving or changing or fading away. There are a lot of ways to make a living in this space. I'm a great example of this. I've told you here on this channel before, my dream was to be a rock star. And when I say that, I mean all elements of a rock star, except for maybe the overdosing or heroin part. But I really wanted to be a songwriter, perform my own songs and tour. I wanted to make music videos. I mean, again, I'm an MTV generation. I grew up with MTV. MTV was born the year I was born. So literally we grew up together. So I wanted to make music videos. I wanted to do interviews. I wanted to sell records. I wanted to make a full-time living just touring and being in the studio and working with great producers and engineers. I already had like my greatest hits album figured out. Like that was the track I wanted, okay? I felt like I was talented enough to write songs and perform and play and do all that kind of stuff. And I had enough people telling me that, yeah, you should pursue it. And I pursued it hard. Didn't work out for me the way I wanted. Shopped records around to labels, worked with session players in Nashville. And people said, thanks, but maybe come back with another record. It was like, you're good, but not yet, or we don't like it really, or you're not what we're looking for, or try again. Didn't work out for me. I also wanted to make a living full-time as a big-time engineer. I wanted to produce huge artists, right? And that's what I wanted to do. What I didn't want to do was blog or make YouTube videos. I didn't want to teach people how to record music. That wasn't my dream, okay? I didn't even think that was a thing. And yet here I am making a video for you on YouTube. This is a huge part of what I do these days is the recording revolution. This technology didn't even exist when I was growing up. Being able to monetize a video or an article by helping people make music wasn't even a reality 15 years ago. There's so much that I didn't think was possible that I would never have pursued this. And yet this has been another income stream for me, another way to make a living that has allowed me to continue to be in the music industry, to continue to make records with artists that I love, to continue to connect with engineers that I love, to continue to connect with brands and studios that I love, to continue to work with songwriters and collaborate and do cool things. All of this is the music industry, and it wasn't what I expected. What about you? What has been your musical dream, your narrow view of what it looks like to be full-time, and full-time specifically doing what? What is that thing? Maybe it's time to consider that there are other ways to make a living. broaden your search a little bit to encourage you, not to make you feel like you can't do this thing, but maybe there are other ways you can make a living and still do this thing. If you're a singer-songwriter like me, you can make a living songwriting for other people. If you're also an engineer, you can make a living creating records and mixing and mastering or whatever for other bands other than yourself. Those are two things. You could write songs for other people, record and mix other people's music, and make money from each of those so that you can still pursue your music as a songwriter and as a producer and as an engineer over here. You could do all three. You could play music live in a cover band that does weddings and bar mitzvahs and corporate parties, and you're not playing your own music, but you're getting paid well to gig multiple nights a week in a band that puts money in your pocket. That's being in the music industry, but then that allows you to part-time work on your songs and be a songwriter and do original music. And maybe that original music you sell on Shutterstock or as stock music, or you shop your music around to license on TV or in movies or commercials. Your talents, your experience, your love for music can look like so many different things in this evolving and expanding music industry. So my encouragement to you would be to open your mind to all the different things you can do to make a living from your music. So in review, it doesn't have to be full-time or nothing. Part-time is probably more of the reality for a lot of us because we'll probably have lots of different things, lots of different income streams, just like me. And also, the one thing you wanted to do for your musical dream may not be the only thing you do. You might be good at other things, so diversify what it means to be in the music industry and allow all of those things to help you make a living or at least help you stay in the music space. Now think about this for a second, and then we'll wrap this up. I have a guide that I give away called the 6 Steps to a Radio Ready Song Guide. It's my free gift to you, by the way. You should download it if you never have. It's at radioreadyguide.com, and it'll help you make music. It's a roadmap for making great music. But what's interesting about this guide is that I walk you through the 6 steps that every single song you hear on the radio, every single song you love has gone through. Okay? Let me give you a little preview of what those steps are. Songwriting, arranging, recording, editing, mixing, mastering. There are the 6 steps. If you want a great song, a radio-ready song, it has to touch all 6 of those steps. Let's think about this from a music industry standpoint. Those are 6 different areas of expertise. Songwriting, arranging, recording, editing, mixing, mastering. Those are 6 different areas in the music industry that could use your help, that could provide an income for you. You could go all in or focus on songwriting. There are major artists today on the radio, on MTV, touring the world that need songs. They don't write their own songs. They collaborate a bit, but they rely heavily on songwriters. You could be one of those songwriters. Arranging. Okay, there are a lot of great songs being written, but there are brilliant producers who sit down and think through the arrangement, the instrumentation, and the presentation of that song so that it would pop its best in a recording. That's a skill set. People need good producers and arrangers. Recording. People still need someone to mic up stuff and make things sound good and have a knack for getting great drum sounds and great guitar tones and getting the vocalist to perform and to get the most out of his or her instrument, right? Her vocal cords. Recording is still an art. Editing. Editing is an art form that people don't even think about. There's so much editing that goes into major pop records, country records, hip hop records to perfect the song, whether it's tuning, tightening up drums, vocal pocketing. There's so much editing that goes on that makes a song sound still natural, but perfect. Mixing. You could do remote mixing and exclusively mixing or mastering. Such a cloud of mystery around mastering. It doesn't have to be mysterious, but actually in this day and age when so many people are recording and mixing their own stuff, a mastering engineer can be so helpful to them because they're like, look, I've done everything myself. I'm too close to this material. I need someone with fresh ears, no bias to just listen to this and make it sound its best. All 6 of those steps in the Radio Ready Song Guide are areas you can actually weave into your musical career. Just something to think about. So as my gift to you, download the Radio Ready Song Guide. It's a free PDF. If you don't have it already, you got to have this. This is going to be your roadmap anytime you're working on music. And as you work through it, think about which of these 6 steps you really can make a living on or you want to incorporate as into one of your income streams in the industry. I think it'll help you out, give you something to expand your horizons with. Again, it's free at radioreadyguide.com. unpack.com is my gift to you. Now, leave me a comment and let me know. What do you do in the music industry? Have you felt like giving up? Do you think you could expand your view of what it means to have a career in music? I'd love to hear where you're at with that. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to these videos, and I'll see you on another video real soon.